So in the hydraulic circuit, the first type of control is the direct control of a hydraulic cylinder. So direct control means you are having a actuator. There is a single acting cylinder here. This one is a double acting cylinder. Now, whatever the fluid is coming out of the pump, we are using a valve. The output of the valve is directly given to the cylinder. So you can see here, this is the pump. From the pump it is coming. This is a pressure relief valve. When you are operating this particular this lever, it will change to this position. The cylinder is going to move forward. So whatever the pump output is there, going through the valve, directly going to the cylinder. Same is the case here. Here we are using a 4x3 lever actuated valve and spring centered. So in the center condition, the pump flow is directly sent into the tank. So whatever the pump flow is coming, it is coming into the direction control valve, and from there it is going into the actuator. From the actuator it is coming into the valve, and then it is going into the tank. So directly whatever valve we are using, that same valve will control the direction of motion of the actuator. Yeah, in case of the pneumatic cylinder again, you can have direct control. Direct control again, this is the compressor symbol, this is the exhaust. Whatever the air is coming from the compressor, if you are pressing this button, it is going into the piston side of the cylinder. The piston is going to move forward. Once you release the push button, it is going to come back. Now you are having the double acting cylinder here. Once you press the push button, it is going forward. If you are releasing the push button, because you are having a spring, the piston is going to come back. So this is the direct control of a pneumatic cylinder. So direct control means whatever the output from the compressor is there, or whatever the power supply is there, we are using a button or a valve, and output of the valve is directly connected to the cylinder or the actuator. It can be a motor also. It can be a hydraulic motor or it can be a pneumatic motor.
In indirect control of pneumatic cylinders, between the direction control valve and an actuator, there will be one more valve. This valve.
So this is the case of the single acting cylinder. This is the case of the double acting cylinder. In case of single acting cylinder, you are having a 3x2 valve. For the pneumatic circuit, for the double acting cylinder, you are having a 5x2 direction control valve.
Is usually controlled by the signals generated by the direction control valve. So we are not directly supplying the power from the buttons we are operating to the actuator, but we are creating a signal, and using this signal we are actuating one more valve, and that valve is going to supply power to the actuators.
In case of double acting cylinder, if you are pressing V1 push button, then this side of the connections will be made inside the valve. Air is going to flow through it. It is going to come here and actuate the force here. When it is actuating the force, this position is actuated inside the valve. So air is going to enter the piston side, and from the retraction other side, air is going to come out. It is going to go here and it is enter into the atmosphere. Now the main advantage of using the indirect control is whatever the signals you are generating for the, or whatever the signals you are using for the push button valve here, they can be of a very low pressure. Maybe 4 bar or 5 bar pressure is sufficient. But whatever the air pressure is going into the actuator here, this compressor, it can be of a very high pressure, because only this air needs to push the piston which is connected to the load. But in this case here, we are only pushing the push button, and whatever air is coming out, that is only operating a valve. So whatever the signal line is, this is called, you can call it as a signal line. The signal lines can be of low pressure, and the actuator lines or power lines can be of high pressure. Maybe this can be 8 bar, 10 bar or 12 bar, whereas these things can be of a lower pressure. Wherever the operator is there and whatever he is handling, it will be of lower pressure rating, and whatever the machine is using for controlling or moving the actuator or moving the load, it is at a higher pressure. So it is some kind of safety is there. Apart from that, you can incorporate logic controls. You can have AND control, OR control, and other things can be very easily incorporated if you are having a indirect control than if you are having a direct control. Now the same thing, indirect control can also be there for the hydraulic cylinder. The advantage is even if leakage happens, there is not much of a danger to the operator. If he is operating the push buttons which are connected to very high pressure line, then if a small leakage is there, then it can create a lot of problems. Next one is the speed. The speed control of hydraulic cylinders and cylinders is based on principles. One is the metering in, other one is the metering out. So whenever we say metering in, we are controlling the fluid that is entering into the cylinder. Whenever we say metering out, we are saying the water fluid is leaving the cylinder, we are trying to control. Here you can see, this is the pump, this is the 4x2 control valve, and this is the flow control valve, which is free flow. So only one direction the flow control will take place, in the other direction the flow control will not take place. The fluid is very free to flow. If you are not having this particular check valve, then what happens is, if you are having only the simple check valve, then it will control the flow in both the directions. So in the forward motion as well as the retraction motion, the speed will be controlled. So in metering, whatever the flow in the forward direction, the flow is taking place, it will have two paths, one through the control valve, other one through the check valve. In this direction, it cannot flow through the check valve. It will only flow through the flow control valve. So how much flow you want is dependent on the speed requirement. You can set the flow control valve. So the piston will move only in the forward direction at the required speed. Then in the metering out, you are having the flow control in the rod end side of the cylinder. So when the piston is moving, the fluid has got two paths. One is check valve, other one is through the flow control valve. When the coming out like this here, it cannot flow through the check valve. It can only flow through the flow control valve. So if you are controlling the opening the valve more, then in this case more flow can happen. So piston can move forward here. Same is the case here. If you are opening the valve more flow can piston side and the piston can move forward. Now which one to use and what is the advantage and disadvantage of each? So now if you are trying to see here, whatever fluid is coming, it has to pass through the flow control valve and the piston will move forward. Now, at what speed the piston will move forward cannot be cut, because if you are not connecting any load here, whatever the high pressure fluid is coming, it will simply push the piston forward. So if there is no load, it will move very rapidly. It can have a very jerky movement. That is also in case of the metering in control. In case of the metering out control, so whatever fluid is coming, it is always trying to work against the pressure created by the flow control valve. So even if the piston tries to move forward at a rapid rate, it will not be possible because the flow cannot move at a faster rate through the flow control valve. So even if there is no load here, the piston cannot move at a very fast rate. Only it can move at a predetermined rate. Now where you can use these two? Now you can use the metering in control when you know that always there is going to be some kind of load attached to the piston rod. Then you can use this one. Metering out you can use always in any condition. Now what is the disadvantage? The main disadvantage of metering out is loss of pressure or loss of power. Why power? Now the pump is trying to push fluid, the piston is trying to move forward, but not forward because it is passing flow control. So it is like a resistance to the flow. Of energy is lost because the fluid is trying to escape through this particular flow control valve. So there will be a loss of pressure will be in case of the metering out as compared with the metering in control. That is, we have to always remember, it is as compared with the metering in. Metering out will have slightly pressure loss or loss of power.
Similarly, in case of the pneumatic cylinder, if you are taking the metering in throttling, the flow entering or the compressed air entering into the cylinder is controlled here. The figure shows the flow control valve with the check valve. The flow control valve, there will be a check valve here, because in order to allow the free flow of air through the throttling system, so that while the piston is retracting, it is having the regular speed, and while the piston is moving forward, its speed is controlled by the flow control valve present over here. So the figure is a very simplified representation. In case of the exhaust air throttling, the air from the compressor is directly entering into the piston side, and whatever air is leaving the cylinder, that is again controlled by using a flow control valve. Here also there will be a check valve connected in parallel to the flow control valve to ensure that when the piston has to retract, as the air is entering on the rod end side of the cylinder, it is not have to pass through the flow control valve, but it can simply bypass and it can
flow into the cylinder so that the piston can retract backward at the regular speed. So basic circuitry for the speed control in pneumatics and also in hydraulics is both the same. The logics and the control valves used also are the same for both hydraulic and pneumatic systems.
In case of modified metering inlet and metering outlet, it is possible to have the metering in control for both extension motion and retraction motion of the piston. We can have metering outlet control for both extension as well as retraction by using a flow control valve and a chuck valve in the proper method at both piston end and rod end of the cylinder.